Well, I think the relationship in my family as a whole was very close, and we had that kind of Baha'i environment as well. So, which does lead to a sort of an informal yet respectful environment, and we would have prayer times as a family every day, and we would also have family councils, which is one of the things that Judith thought was a terrible idea, and I'm still not quite sure how she feels about it. She certainly thinks that they're too young at the moment to have part of the decision-making process in any big decisions. Obviously, they have 100 choices every day on a lower level, but these family councils that we'd have every once in a while would be about quite big things, where to go on holiday. I can't remember what the details were now, but any big things, the family was almost seen as a democracy, really. I can't remember now whether our votes actually had a swaying the power to sway, or whether it was just that we felt like we were being listened to. I can't remember, but it was a very democratic, very easygoing, very loving, very close environment. And with my dad, he wasn't a stereotypical dad. He's very intellectual, very academic, very loving, but not in a hands-on way. It was a close relationship, but at the same time, it wasn't kind of an adulation. I didn't sort of look up to him like like some boys look up to their dads, I'm sure, in as much as he is like the perfect dad in a stereotypical way. I've got absolutely no complaints at all or issues with the sort of dad that he was and is. I do feel very lucky that he was always there. He had a pretty much a 9-to-5 job as well, and Mum didn't work, so it was similar to the setup we've got at the moment. Yeah, he was there, and we did DIY stuff together, and we did model railways together and stuff like that. And he gave me useful bits of advice, like the only one that springs to mind is clockwise to close. Which, as far as some people's dads giving them extremely sage advice that will see them through life, it's not particularly fantastic, but it's very useful. Anything that screws, it's clockwise to close it, and that works on anything except one side of a bike wheel where the thread has to go the other way. So anyway, he was a very practical dad who had tips like that. But I think that my relationship with Sam and Faith is going to be slightly different, in as much as I think I'm going to be a bit more hands-on. I'm not quite such a social Dad's very shy, very, very shy. He's a bit of a wallflower, really. But and I think I'm a little bit more outgoing than that. So it's going to be different, but I'm hoping it's going to have the same elements, the same basic elements, which is to have a strong guiding role. And Mum and Dad were equally important in that regard, because they were giving me the same messages. So Mum and Dad are interchangeable in that respect. There was no conflict there.